Welcome to slide number 11. What happens to our brain while we are reading? What is the role of this brain? So, brain activity increases in the left hemisphere while we are reading. Our brain becomes engaged in helping you decode sound, handle speech production, and use and comprehend grammar. You might be thinking I'm going to teach you about brain. No, I'm not from the medical field. I'm just a teacher, a trainer. Now, before we blame the child that he's not reading, his brain is not working, he's slow reader, he doesn't make effort, he's lazy, he's dumb, blah blah blah. As a teacher, as a parent, we must know why the child is not able to read. I always work on diagnosing the problem first. So when you want to know that, you need to know how our brain is working. So now I'm going to tell you the parts of the brain involved in reading. Okay, so the brain doesn't use specific part to read. Instead, reading engages different regions of the brain via multiple processes. So, it's grateful to the science that because of brain imaging, today we are able to know which part works how and how not. So, I'm going to tell you what is the role of the different parts. So, the temporal lobe that decodes sounds and gives you phonological awareness, that is letter sound. The occipital temporal lobe is located in the back and helps you with fluent reading since it stores images and the meaning of the words. The parietal temporal lobe is located towards the back, works with break words into sounds. The angular and supramarginal gyrus that links to integrate multiple parts of the brain to perform the reading activity. Now in the frontal lobe, the major is creating speech and sound by which we are helping ourselves to read fluently, understand, use grammar and pronouncing speech. So brain activity, actually reading is a very complicated process that activates different neural responses in the brain. And that is why I keep on emphasizing, instead of pushing the child so much to write, we must encourage our children to read. Okay. Now, what is it doing? What's happening inside? So, morphological recognition, that is the left frontal lobe activates the morphological recognition for you and to understand letters that create a word. So if you will also have synatic recognition to know whether the word is a verb or a noun. So all that is happening in that department. There's a department of the brain which is working. Text comprehension. So after understanding the word, the next step is text, that is examining their syntactic and semantic relationships. So in other words, you will analyze how words flow, their tenses and the formation on the title. So these lobes are very active in performing this task. Then third is emotion and cognitive processing. So when you are reading, the brain processes, like the limbic system gets active in emotion. And activating emotion from memory and learning is an effective way to accept new information. So emotion while reading also increases your attention span. So you must have seen when a story is read, like good story narrators, there are a lot of teachers in pre-primary have seen who are able to read story with emotion. The attention span of the children looking at the teacher and listening to the story is so high, and they retain the story also for a very, very long time. But a teacher who just reads like reading emotionally, change words, increases your reading time, hence emotional, the children are not interested. It's like so boring. So how you read, how your speech is, also helps the child to become a better reader and develop that reading style in the child too. So as a teacher, you need to practice reading so wonderfully that when you read, the child must feel the teacher's talking to the child with that intonation and pitch. So when we want our struggling readers to improve reading, we need to improve our reading too. Thank you so much. And once you understand this, you'll be more aware when you work with the child, especially you'll not blame the child. So suppose there is some damage in any of these areas. As I said, there are so many departments in our brain which is working to help us to identify letter to word to sound to speech to text to comprehend to emotion. If there is any damage happened there due to fever, or if the child is dyslexic, or something that happened during birth, it's going to affect the child's reading ability. So we can't keep on blaming the child. Instead, once we identify that, okay, continuously the child is making error in this area, you will be able to help the child by using your remedial strategies in that particular manner. I hope this a little technical subject I've tried to simplify it, and I hope you understand. If you have any questions, we have our workshop tomorrow. We have a live session. You can definitely post your questions in the live session at 6 p.m. tomorrow. Looking forward to see all of you. Take care.